BFR is the brief and intermittent occlusion of arterial and venous blood flow using a tourniquet while exercising at low intensities or even at rest. And so what that means is we basically use a medical grade tourniquet and restrict the amount of oxygen or blood flow into a limb while it's exercising and totally occluding venous return back to the heart. And what this does is, the way that I explain this to my patients is it essentially tricks your brain into thinking you're doing high intensity exercise, but you're not. And you're protecting tissue and you don't cause any muscle damage that you normally would with high intensity exercise or even low intensity exercise to failure. And so it works perfectly for those people that we can't compromise tissue, like for me in a rehab setting.
Gotcha. Yeah, it's a super interesting area, and it's something that I have dove into not nearly as much as you have. But you can see the benefits really stemming back from its origins, right? When it was Katsu training in Japan made for older adults who couldn't really exercise and needed to find a way to induce hypertrophy, now being used to help expedite the healing process, being used in season after a difficult game to improve healing, or whether or not it's used to actually substitute a workout when travel becomes too demanding to actually load the system. Now with BFR, are you getting, in regards to hypertrophy, similar adaptations hypertrophy-wise if you were to do BFR with a low load, say 20% of your 1 rep max, compared to something moderately heavier?
Yeah, or exceeds. In the time frame, true hypertrophy takes, according to the literature, depending on what reference you're looking at the minimum 12 weeks, but more likely 16 weeks. And you've got to train at least 65%. Or you've got to take low intensity loads defined as 20 to 35% of 1 rep max all the way to failure, which we know causes damage to the tissue. BFR starts to show hypertrophy changes at week 2.